Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. I want to start with a couple of thank yous this week to Mark for coming in last week and showing us the quick link heads and creating those amazing sculptures last week, and also to Kevin for coming in the week before and talking BMTV business. Kevin, that was great. It's getting a lot of love on YouTube, and thank you to everybody that's bought one of Kevin's books. I'm sure he's massively appreciative, and fingers crossed we're going to get more of Kevin in the future. So yes, thank you to both of you. Now, some big news in the industry this week. Pioneer, the owners of the Qualitex brand, have acquired North Star Balloons. So North Star will become part of Pioneer. They have announced it. The details of how that's going to happen have not yet been released. I think that's going to happen over the next few months. We don't know, for instance, are they going to continue to be a North Star brand, just like you've got the Qualitex brand, or are they going to become Qualitex? Is the manufacturing going to happen where it does at the moment, or is it going to move to the Qualitex manufacturing plants? We don't know. All I do know is that things continue as normal for now. So we are going to continue to order from North Star in the States every week, and you will be able to continue to buy the North Star products as normal. Personally, I think it's a really positive thing for the industry. I think North Star have some great strengths, and merge that with the Qualitex strengths, I think is just going to be a really, really good thing for the industry as a whole. The main reason being, rather than us having to order from the States, for instance, it's going to be here in the UK with Pioneer. So fingers crossed that is going to be a really, really good thing for us all. I'd say sort of 4 to 6 months probably minimum, but that's just me guesstimating. Who knows? It could be a lot quicker. It could take a lot longer. Who knows? But yes, big news this week. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about today, happens every year in November, is Black Friday. Now, Black Friday, it's the 24th of November this year. It came from the States. Thursday, before Black Friday, is Thanksgiving, and people normally have a long weekend, so they have the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the retailers in the States decided, we don't want people spending time with their family, we want them in our shop spending money. So that's why Black Friday was created. It's since come over to the UK. And you would have seen every year they just show people rushing into Asda or whatever, fighting over big screen TVs. Last year there was £5.7 billion worth of sales on Black Friday, which is a lot. And I'm telling you this for two reasons. The first is that if you're having your own Black Friday sale, we've got some Black Friday balloon packages and some sale balloons and stuff. The links are down below. But mainly, the couriers get a bit busy. So I'm just warning you to be prepared. A few years ago, DPD were caught out with Black Friday, and there was such a backlog. Some of our parcels took a week to be delivered instead of the next day that it should have been. Thankfully, the last couple of years, they've sorted that out. They get more drivers in, they get more people in the offices in, they get more people in the depots, and it just happens a lot more smoothly. But still, all the couriers, Royal Mail, everybody is going to be really, really busy. So our advice to you is to order as early as possible. So the 24th is the Friday. If you can order on the Monday or Tuesday, I'd recommend it. If you have to order on the Wednesday, Thursday, I think things are really going to start to kick off on the Friday when the orders are starting to be placed. And the couriers are just going to get randomly, massively busy. And then it continues to Cyber Monday, which is the largest online consumer retail day in the year. So it could go a bit further that way into the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you might have some retailers that are having the sales earlier. So order whatever you need as early as possible, please. Now, by way of a thank you, I want to show some people's work. Do you remember Tony Hart? Take Heart, back in the 1970s and 80s. I'll show my age slightly. And he used to show the gallery. People send their artwork in, the kids send their artwork in, and they show the gallery and just sort of scroll across through people's artwork. And people are sending us their work that's specifically been inspired by BMTV. So I just want to say a big thank you to everybody. And now we're going to have a bit of a gallery. Apologies if we've not got everybody on there. But to start with, we have Melanie. Now, Melanie has sent us a picture of some work that she did inspired by Chris Horn when he did his Chris Horn heat sealing method, which I don't know if that's what it's called. Melanie suggests that maybe we have a better name for it. So if you've got a better name for it, Chris, please let us know. And then we move on to Nina. Nina did a spider inspired by the BMTV balloon basics that we did with Mark. Nina's spider's got lavender legs, as you can see, or lilac legs. And then we have Alex, and Alex has been inspired by Chris Horn again with the orbs. By the way, the orbs will be back in, the silver orbs will be back in stock, back in the UK. The 8th of December is the date we have at the moment. So it might be a little bit later, it might be a little bit earlier, but that's the date we have today. So Alex, thank you for sending those through. And the last one is Mike. Mike just sent us a message that said Happy Halloween, and it happened to have this attached to it. So he sent us some of his work there as well. If you do want to see your work on BMTV, particularly if it is inspired by BMTV, then please send it through. I can't say we're going to do it every single week. Can't say we'll put everybody's on there, but I think it's really nice. It really makes me feel good that we're offering the support, that people are taking this knowledge, going out there, creating something, selling it, and growing their businesses. What we wanted to do when we set out with Balloon Market was help people grow their businesses through service and support. And I think that BMTV is doing that, and that's what everybody tells us. So thank you to everybody that does say that. I am really glad we are supporting the industry in this way, and I appreciate everybody going out there doing it. So please send more pictures of what it is that you're doing. We'd love to show them. Now, I talked to Kevin, obviously a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about business, and we talked about inspiration, talked about audiobooks. And I'm a big fan of audiobooks because you can listen to them when you're driving, listen to them when you're walking, listen to them when you're doing the dishes, listen to them anyway. You can do something else while you're listening to an audiobook. And I use audiobooks to inspire me, to motivate me, to learn something new, to see things from other people's point of view. And they're the 4 main reasons I think I probably listen to audiobooks. And I'm listening to one at the moment. And it was recommended by Kevin, and it's called Black Box Thinking by a guy called Matthew Syed. And it's brilliant. It is a really good book. It's called Black Box Thinking because it's a black box in a plane. And what happens if a plane crashes, they pull a black box out and they find out what made the plane crash. And they analyse it and they find out what the reasons are, and then they feed that information back into the industry. The industry makes changes, and that hopefully doesn't happen again. And that's what the airline industry has been doing for years. So it's become the safest way to travel. There's some statistics in the book that I can't remember what they are, but it's absolutely the safest way to travel. The number of people that get hurt or die in a plane crash is that, percentage-wise, compared to any other form of travel. So absolutely amazing. And then it compares it to the medical industry, which is not the industry, the medical profession, which is probably, well, the opposite of that. I had no idea, but there's so many preventable deaths in our hospitals and around the world that you can see that people aren't learning from the mistakes, and the mistakes keep happening again. And there was a really good analogy in the book, actually, in talking about that if you're hitting a golf ball, you've got to then watch where it goes. And if you see it veer off that way, then you've got to do it the other way. And you keep on, adjusting until you get it absolutely spot on. If you're hitting the golf ball in the dark, then you might think you're doing a good job, but you can't see it. So you've no idea how well you're doing. And that's the difference. And that's in the analogy for the airline industry and the medical profession. But anyway, the whole point of the book is that mistakes are a great way to learn. And when we have problems and there are mistakes, we learn from them and we just get better. And there's one part of the book that I was listening to this morning, and it's talking about making little mistakes, making little changes that might be mistakes, they might not be mistakes, but making these little changes and mistakes to get better. And it's called Marginal Gains. And you might have heard of a guy called Dave Brailsford. He's the principal at Team Sky, the GB cycling team. And he, for the last 6 years, well, he's won the Tour de France 5 times in the last 6 years. And prior to that, Great Britain had never won a Tour de France in the 100 years or whatever it is it's been going. And he's put it all down to marginal gains. So it's just making these teeny tiny little changes throughout the team. An example is he makes sure that the cyclists have the same mattress to sleep on every single night. So it's moved from one hotel to the next hotel. And the whole point is that if that gives them that marginal gain of just a better night's sleep, if they sleep better just because of that mattress, and then the same with the pillow. And then if they introduce something to the diet, if they use a particular kind of oil on the chain on the bike or whatever it might be, all these teeny tiny things. But his theory is that making all these little changes, but making mistakes along the way and then learning from those mistakes as you're making these changes, it adds up to this amount of change. And it really applies to business as well. So if you're in business and you make a decision to go down this route, and there's one thing that you think, if I do this, that's it. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be really successful. That's it. You make that one change and that happens. Well, that's fantastic. You've hit the nail on the head. You're absolutely golden. The reality is, it tends not to be like that. So you think, okay, I'll make this change. I'm going to market like this. The orders will flood in. And then they don't. But you might have had a 2% increase in orders or something like that. And so you make all these different changes and then it all adds up. So that's my tip for you this week is make a change a week. It could be anything. It could be changing the font in your emails, changing the subject in your email if you're sending out a quote. If you have a website, change the color of your website. How do you answer the phone? Answer it in a different way. Make these changes. And some of them might be mistakes. If you learn from those mistakes, then you go on and change it again. And I just thought it was really key. It really resonated with me. And because we make changes here on a daily basis almost. And it's great. And sometimes you do make mistakes. We've made some whopping, very costly mistakes, but you learn from them. And that would be my tip of the week. So make a change every week, no matter how small. Right, let's talk a little bit about stock. Now, over here, I've got some rose gold stuff. Now, you've seen the foils before, the rose gold Qualitex and the rose gold anagram, but I'm showing you these to show you this and how this brand new bubble weight from Creative in rose gold matches those balloons. So these are not available yet. So we have ordered a lot and they will be in January. But I've put them on these two balloons to just show you the matches. I think the Qualitex one is a slightly better match, but I think it works with both of them. I've not done it with the latex yet, but really, really good. I mean, those weights are just so popular anyway, and they're a really good price point. But to have them in rose gold now is going to be awesome. Now, talking of rose gold, we've got the anagram A to Z, 34-inch. We've got the full alphabet at the moment. So by the time you watch this on Thursday, hopefully we'll still have the full alphabet, but we'll see. But yeah, they're all in there. I wanted to talk a little bit about New Year. Talked a bit about it, didn't I, a couple of weeks ago. So I've got this here. This is the Cubes balloon. Happy New Year. I talk about it most years, about the sophisticated colours of black and white and silver and gold. And this is very much like that. But I also wanted to show you these tails, these new tails from, balloon tails from Anagram. And you can see you've got the gold and the silver and the black there as well. Now these weigh 10 grams. So they will be too heavy for some balloons, like for instance the 18-inch foils, you wouldn't be able to do these. People have made these by hand for the last number of, well, I don't know, a good few years now. And Anagram have obviously found a way to manufacture these en masse. And I think they just add so much value to balloons. Rather than just a plain piece of ribbon, I think you add that and you can charge so much more. And they just look so much more impressive. As I say, you will need a slightly larger balloon like a Cubes or an Orbs or a 2-foot or 3-foot latex. I've got the full range here, so you can see the heart-shaped ones, the round ones, and the star-shaped ones in the different colours as well. And then here a few more things that can be used for New Year. So you've got the sparkly metallic gold effect that has been very trendy this year. You've got some streamers, black and gold streamers, and over here you've got the tassel garland as well. That is there's the gold, the white, the silver, and the black as well. We've also got the satin ribbon. We've got the two sizes of satin ribbon. You've got 15 mils and you've got 25 mils, and we've got that in quite a few different colours. And then we move to these. Now these are called Kurly, with a K, spirals from Kaleidoscope. I have to be honest, I wasn't too sure how well they would go, but they're proving really popular. I've got a couple inflated here. These are just put together. Rachel put these together. They are air fill only. They are heat seal. You do need a heat sealer to seal them. And Rachel's just put two together and just taped up the necks there, and it's created, well, a bit of a heart. But I'd be interested to see what other people can create with these Kurly balloons. Just if you have created anything with these, send us the pictures through them. We'll show them on BMTV. I think it'd be great. And lastly, we've got the unicorns over here. We've got the pastel unicorn that was gone for too long, is back now. And then we've got this sparkly one. I can't remember the name of it. And then we've got the 18-inch unicorn ones. Unicorn balloons are going to be around for a long, long time. I think they've still got a big old life in them. And I understand as well there's going to be a unicorn airwalker coming very soon. So that will be very interesting to see. No doubt when we do get that, we will be inflating one and having a look. That's it from me this week. The question of the week is, what change are you going to make in your business this week? Leave your comments down below on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. See you next time. Bye-bye.